to me. So the first application we are going to call is Tartinery W3 LLC, doing business as Tartinery at 78 West 3rd Street. This is agenda item E2. They have a restaurant wine license, and this is just an alteration to add the roadway seating. Hi. No, it's 14 tables and 28 seats in the roadbed on Thompson. And are you applying for sidewalk too, or no? No sidewalk, okay. And it needs an FDNY waiver. There is no bike path there. You're going to close at 10 o'clock every night. And just so the rules, the DOT rules are opening at 8 o'clock Monday for the outside, Monday to Saturday, and 10 a.m. on Sundays. Yeah, so the stipulations will read those hours because those are the hours of the program. And that's it, I think. And you had outdoor in the temporary. Does anybody have any questions on this? No. Nope. Anybody here from the public on this application? Nope. Okay. That's it. Thanks. Yep. Not Thursday? I don't see you there. Oh, lucky you. Okay, great. Okay. Thank you. The next application is going to be Rulin Hospitality LLC at 15 East 13th Street. Okay, that was one of my questions. Okay, so up to the microphone. So I'll cover it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So for this location, they do have the full liquor license before. Right now, she just signed a new lease. She took over. She will be doing the restaurant one. So we are here to gladly answer any question if you have.
Okay, so my first question is, what is the name? Is it Rulin Restaurant Group LLC or Rulin Hospitality LLC?
Rulin Restaurant Group.
Okay, so we need a new 30-day notice.
Yeah, it's inside.
Okay, can you email it to the office?
Oh, yes, I will. Yeah, because
Okay.
I did email to I think Miss Ma or whatever, so I did, you see,
Okay.
I amended the application, yes.
You did, okay, because I didn't see that over the weekend. All
Yes,
right.
thanks.
So it is restaurant group.
Yes.
All right, that's the first question. And this is a restaurant wine application for an Asian restaurant.
Yes.
Okay, and the hours are?
11 to 12, I put down.
Yeah, 11 to 10:30.
Yeah,
All right, what's on the application is 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily. So the previous establishment closed at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Is that, I mean, I'm
That's fine.
just trying to figure out what hours you need for your restaurant. And just for the record, the previous occupant did have a full liquor license, but that full liquor was only used in they didn't serve drinks. They weren't allowed to serve full alcohol drinks. It was only used in the pastries that they made. Yeah, that was, there were extensive stipulations on that was, I can, hang on one second. I don't know if there were extensive stipulations, but there were stipulations that said that liquor will be used by the operators in the preparation of food products only, beer and wine products only will be available to customers. Drinks with liquor will not be served to customers. And there was no sidewalk with that. You don't have any sidewalk seating? Okay. So there's no outdoor seating, no TVs, it's background music only.
Yeah.
And any patrons in the basement or no?
There's no basement.
No
There is no basement. Okay, there is no basement, so that solves that. And it's an Asian restaurant?
Yes.
Yes, correct. Okay. So the application says there's 950 square feet per floor and has a diagram of a basement, or is it a second
It's the
floor?
second floor.
Fourth floor and second floor.
So what floor is the first floor and second floor?
Yes.
So does anybody use the second floor?
It's for storage.
Okay, so the second floor is only for storage. $15 tables and 30 seats and no bars, right? Okay, I think that does it for me. Does anybody have anything? Okay, I think we have someone here for the public on this. Yeah, come on up. So you guys move aside so that she can speak. Thank you. Don't go away, just move over.
My name is Cheryl Granfield. I'm a member of the East 11th Block Association since 1977. And I simply wanted to comment on my issues had to do with all of the points you raised in your questioning and with the adjustment in the hours to the previous occupant and the limitation on use of liquor solely for food preparation and not for service. I am happy to endorse the application with the name adjustment change that you put forth.
Okay, thank you. So, and it's just a restaurant wine application. So this is Rulin, Lois. Item B3. Okay. So does anybody from the committee have anything else on this? No. Okay, I think we're good. This isn't a transfer, it's just a new.
Is a new application. They are not.
Yeah,
back
nothing.
business. Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that. All right, great. Thank you. Okay, the next application is going to be Rament Corp. And this is a restaurant wine application. It is a transfer, and this is doing business as Ramen Takumi at 1 University Place. Is it the same? No. Go ahead.
My name is Sam Park. I'm representative. I'm here with the manager, Mr. Kong. And this is a transfer application for existing restaurant. And we apply for wine and beer license. And this is a Japanese restaurant focused on the variety in the ramen and then some kind of little dishes for sushi sashimi. And hour of operation is going to be 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., 7 days a week. And outdoor operation is going to be 12 table, 46 seat. Only we're going to play the background music, no outdoor seating, no backyard.
And no basement?
No,
And no patron? Are
no
there
patron.
patrons in the basement or no? Do the patrons use the basement?
Yes,
The customers?
no, there's
No.
no customer. No.
Okay, and are there any doors, other than the entry door, are there any other operable doors or
No.
windows? And, okay, could you just explain the transfer, or, who this was before and who this is now? It's keeping the name.
Yes, it's actually the same owners,
Okay,
same owner, and that's because they're getting the new lease, and that's so they changed the corporation name, and then it's going to be same owners, same employee. Same restaurant. It's going to be, yes, correct.
okay. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, I think that does it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh. Okay, thanks. Okay, the next application is going to be 357 West Broadway LLC, doing business as Pearl and Box Heroes. And this is just an alteration to add sidewalk seating and a change in method of operation to add the sidewalk seating. This is item E1. Hi, thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. I am Kenneth Crum. This is Aaron Lorette. We are the operating partners of 357 West Broadway, operating as Heroes and Probox. We're just here for the application process of getting a sidewalk permit.
Okay, and so you agree to close at 10?
Yes.
Because before you had stipulations saying there would be no outside
Right.
on there. Okay. So the question I have with this is, from looking at the diagram, I don't see how it's possible to fit the number of tables and chairs in here that you have indicated in here. It's a little storefront, and then if I just look at Google Maps and look at the picture, it doesn't seem like it's gonna fit.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
these tables are very small, 16-inch like bistro tables for snacks and like kind of light wine.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not full-size dining tables.
2, 3, 4, 5.
And they would be
6 feet. Okay, so you think that'll work?
We do, yes.
Okay. Either way, it needs to stay in front of your premises, and all the service has to happen in there.
Yes. we have-
So the tables have to be far enough apart that someone can walk into it and serve everybody. That's what I care about. Okay, and you think that number of tables will do it? Because yes.
We do. We played around with some bistro tables that we have on one of our floors, and they seem to work.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, you could, I guess, if it doesn't work, just eliminate. I'll put down the stipulation agreement would say that all service happens from within the perimeter of it, not any serving over it. There's no music, there's no speakers, there's no TVs outside, and you won't have more than this number of tables.
Correct. Definitely.
So just, yeah. So just make sure that whatever's going on, it stays within the area you have marked, so the clear path stays what it should be and everything else.
Understood.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on this? Is there anybody here from the public on this application? Okay, I think that does it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, the next application is going to be One Tiger LLC, doing business as Soso's, and One Tiger LLC, doing business as Tiger South Soho Bar, both to add sidewalk seating. Nothing's any different than what you sent this afternoon. I can't imagine. No, okay, I'm fine. But somebody else, does anybody on the committee want a copy? Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Matt Borick here from Helper on Levy, representing One Tiger LLC today. We have Principal Eddie Buckingham here as well. We have a couple applications before you, both for One Tiger LLC, two separate entities. We'll start with Soso's, which is located at 181 to 191 Center Street, applying for a sidewalk cafe only. It'll be 10 tables and 22 seats there on Center Street, also applying for a method of operation change to remove the stipulation on that one.
Okay. And so just so everybody knows, this is, for DOT purposes, this is one application because they have one food service license, is
That's
whatever you
correct.
call it, establishment.
Yes, yeah.
But they do have two, just to clarify for me, there are two kitchens,
Yes, there are
Correct.
2 kitchens, correct.
one in Tiger
Mhm.
and one in Sosa's.
Correct.
And
So,
Tiger also uses,
so no, these are 2 separate kitchens, 2 separate restaurants, essentially. It's when we applied for the alteration to separate the 2 spaces, we went to the DOH, we explained, the whole situation, the process that we were going through. They told us essentially, same entity, same EIN, neighboring businesses, we're not going to issue a second DOH permit. That's how we went to the DOH with it. That's what they told us. We explained that to the DOT as well, explained the whole situation.
Yeah.
They told us as well, 1 DOH permit, 1 DOT application, and it was conditionally approved that way.
so they don't share the kitchen.
Correct.
There's a wall between them.
There is, yeah.
So they don't go back and, I know the patrons don't go back and forth,
No.
but the wait staff doesn't use,
No.
it's two completely. The entity I get, I'm just. Yeah.
Because
Can
you're
you
required
hand
to keep totally separate books.
Hang on, microphone.
You're required to keep totally separate books for the liquor authority, because they're 2 separate licenses, so you can't overlap your businesses. Yeah, but I mean, you just have to
Can I just
keep-
say one thing? Everybody needs to use a microphone, so you need to use them. That's okay. And it raises and lowers.
That's why I think we raised this before, that you guys said you were 2 separate spaces, so you can't run the same books. Your employees have to be, I mean, that's our understanding, because you
We
can't
run-
share your alcohol ordering.
We don't share the ordering. They operate separately across the 2 licenses. Matters like payroll, there's 2 separate tip pools.
No, but that's,
payroll
but I'm
goes to a
saying is
separate
that they
account.
have to be totally 2 separate accounts. Like when you order wholesale, you have to order separately.
Yeah.
They
And
do.
Specific to liquor, that's absolutely how it operates. In terms of 2 fully separate books, like payroll comes.
So how does that work if you're
centralized.
on COD on one and not another? Do you end up on COD on both?
The 2 separate licenses, they should be.
No, I'm just asking
Yeah.
because you saying it's the same entity, when you write a check, it's coming from the same account,
We
right?
haven't actually been on COD.
Yeah.
as
Well,
a
but I'm just
entity.
saying that's how you would differentiate in the real world
Sure.
off of running.
So we did have them on the 1 license, and if you remember, when we extended South Soho Bar to add the dining room to make it a full-service restaurant, you guys had wanted us to break it into 2 licenses, and we did. And that's when there was that DOT moment where DOH was saying, no, 1 entity, 1 DOH permit, but we changed it from 1 liquor license to 2 liquor licenses when we made Soso's the full-service
So
restaurant.
here's where I'm confused, because when you came then, what Joseph said was that the new one would be treated as a brand new application, which it was, right? But that, and so they were closing the space, and the space will connect in the back of house in the kitchen area. That's what he said back then, which was why I was under the understanding that the kitchen's connected, because you were still using part of the Sosa kitchen, because that was the larger kitchen. No, right, that's, well, this was this extension when he split it. So the first extension was to get the Sosa space and use that kitchen. Then you came to split it, and at that time, Joseph said what I'm saying now, that the patrons would not go back and forth. It would be two separate businesses as far as the liquor authority was concerned, because the liquor authority would judge it as such. If the patrons could go back and forth, it had to be one. But if it was just the kitchen, it was okay. That would be two separate
so-
ones. And what Joseph said correctly or incorrectly at the time is that the patrons can't go back and forth, but that the back kitchen can be shared as long as there's no patron contiguous space from space to space.
Just
So
to
that-
clarify that,
yeah,
there is
that-
no kitchen crossover.
So there was never
Soso's-
any, so that was wrong.
Soso's food is delivered to 191 Centre, One Howard food is delivered, Tiger food is delivered to One Howard. There's no.
And it never,
Where that confusion may have been born of is we actually took the Soso's.
right,
space
to get more
to have
kitchen space
support for Tiger.
when it was
Because
connected.
going back to 2021.
Right.
We had an additional 48 seats in the roadway.
Right.
Before the arterial bike lane came in.
Yep,
So pre-COVID, we designed a venue expecting 100 seats.
sure,
Plus 24 alfresco seats.
right.
Then COVID happened, we had to close Chinese Tuxedo, we took the team over, and after we had roadway seats, indoor dining, we had like 200 seats.
Right.
So our kitchen couldn't keep up.
So you got this
The bakery
one.
next door was vacant, so we took that to be the Tiger prep kitchen.
Okay.
We then lost our roadway seats, and we just figured
And
it
then
out.
so that's what he said in here too, is you lost the roadway seat, so now you were getting the space on the other side of Sosa's. That's what this one was.
Had a second,
And it had a second dining area, and you could do that.
that's right.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like the businesses are separate aside from the health certificate, which makes
We agree it's not very
zero
clear, but
sense to me.
Yeah, this is what we were told to do from the DOH.
And
from the
is DOH saying that's because it's an adjacent business?
Because of the same entity, same EIN.
Okay.
So it's one AIN into a DBA.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I mean, you could have another business uptown. I mean, in
I think
theory,
the
you
fact that
know,
their
it doesn't seem
AKA
that odd
addresses
here
as
that,
well
but,
Played into it.
okay, all right.
but yeah.
Okay, and then the other issue I had was that you've been operating with the outside seating at that location, at the Sosa's location, since that opened, and that had a stipulation on it saying that you would not be operating with that at that location.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a lack of
That,
understanding.
well,
of
that,
the-
I'm just gonna say that clearly could not have been a lack of understanding, because there was a whole, aside from the stipulations, there was a whole conversation that said that it would be treated as a brand-new application and would not be eligible for DOT because you couldn't apply for DOT at the time, and they'd have to start new under the new program, and hence you would be here now for this, but you should not have been out there before for all this other time.
Okay.
So.
In that case,
that-
I wasn't a part of those conversations, but I do
No, but you
apologize for
can-
the, for the, operating out of compliance. We're here today to, just ask your forgiveness and hopefully operate in compliance in the future.
Okay, so this is 10 right, exactly. You need to use your
That-
microphone.
That's the second time of asking for forgiveness, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the previous conversations.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there were a bunch of issues with, before, so, and it not operating properly. Okay, so this is going to close at 10. It opens at 4 Monday to Friday outside and 2 on Saturday and Sunday?
That's correct.
Okay. Does anybody from the committee have anything to say? Anthony?
Yeah, I just want to state that your business has only come into compliance the past 2 weeks before this meeting got started. For your Sosos, you usually have 12 tables out there. Now it's pared back to the 10. And also your map doesn't match what you're proposing. And you're missing the planter that you put it right in the center of the Soso on the map.
I believe the map matches.
Yeah, the updated map that we.
I live across
sent
the
over this
street.
afternoon.
I live across the street, so I bear witness to this every single night.
Right,
And
well-
also your customers love to crouch out beyond the borderline in terms of the seats that you put out on
Because there's no,
the outer side.
Right, so what we applied to with the DOT, it was a preliminary application. There was no requirement for accurate tables and chairs on that application. We are now applying to the SLA, where the SLA does require precise table and chair counts. So we're definitely going to get that in order as we send this application in.
Yes, for this meeting, you've gotten it in order.
Sure, yeah. We'll get
And then
that
for the
buttoned up.
Tiger, you've done the same thing. We didn't get to that application, but
Sure, yeah.
you paired back the planters just to get into compliance based on the lampposts on both sides.
Right.
Just
yeah.
recently, but you've been operating for a while
Mhm.
beyond your actual means allowable.
Understood. We'll definitely get that buttoned up as soon as possible
Today.
today.
It has been.
So there's the 10-foot clearance. People aren't going past it. The planters aren't, because there was a whole conversation when you came to split the spaces about the planters as well. I have all that. We had a long conversation about the planters, so that should have been fixed.
Yeah. No, it's as per the drawing now, which DOT signed off on.
Yeah,
by
we got
September.
updated, just so everybody on the committee knows, we got updated drawings around, 3 o'clock today? So they should, which you
That
handed
should
out,
be in the packet
okay.
that I handed out, yes.
Okay. Okay, does anybody have anything else? No. Okay, so let's move on then to Tiger.
Yep, so Tiger, same thing. Alteration application to add sidewalk seating, or to extend the liquor license to the sidewalk seating, rather. Be 12 tables, 34 chairs, closing at 10 p.m. This is the 1 Howard Street frontage. No stipulation on this one, so no need for a change of method of operation.
Right. Okay. Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments on this one? Same comments, Anthony? They haven't been complying in the planters and everything. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Go ahead. To be accurate. Because before it had like 6 tables at the northern side. This is what it looked like before. This is what it looks like now. So they've removed some of the tables.
Yeah, essentially just altering what we had applied for with the DOT originally. Again, just preliminary table and chair counts. When you start to operate in practice with the new clearances, the new guidelines, things change a little bit, and this is what we will be applying for to the SLA.
I mean, I think this was probably brought up when you went to the outdoor dining working group, and it's the zigzag in and out with this 10 feet that is, I don't know how that gets set up every day. It's always a problem, every place we have that does that. But, and you have to have the perimeter around the whole thing, right? You have that
Right.
perimeter. And you have an awning. On this one has the awning that goes out, I think. Yeah.
I guess I'm just confused. So it's what was changed in the proposed diagram?
This is the 2 of them combined of the original one. This is the one we received today. So this is the difference in Tiger, right? This to this. So they removed these 2 tables. They kept this table, they kept this table. They removed a middle table here. And they removed these tables. So that's that one. On the other one, they removed this table, this became 1 table, removed this table, these are still here. Yes, yes. I'm not sure exactly why certain tables got removed, but they were removed.
The mods were to ensure the 10-foot clearance from any.
Oh, maybe
poles
that
or
is
structures on
that.
the sidewalk.
So even on the SOSA space from that one, on the northern part, you had to remove the 1 table for, okay.
It's a bit of a funny corner.
It's
Because Hester's at T-junction coming into us, and
Right.
Hester's at T-junction going away from us.
right.
So there's a lot of poles on our block.
Yeah, no, and bike racks, maybe, I don't know. Okay, does anybody have anything?
I guess the question is, I mean, just from the concerns that Anthony brought up, how are we going to
Make sure.
ensure that there's compliance with this? Because this is, again, the second time of asking for forgiveness. I mean, if you're asking us to reconsider why we would even consider approving this without calling it up to the liquor authority to have them decide
I mean,
what's
yeah.
the answer to that? Because that's what we're going to discuss later in the business session. And
Right.
that's what's going to come up. So
I mean, yeah, totally understood. Look, this is a new program with stricter rules under the DOT. It's a revocable consent. If we are
the rules have been in effect for a year,
yes,
and they've
I
had to.
understood. Yeah, I mean, ultimately the stakes are higher. The DOT can remove our permit at any point for any reason. We certainly don't want to give them a reason by operating out of compliance, by upsetting neighbors, by upsetting the community board, block associations, anything like that. So, you know, again, I wasn't privy to the conversations that were had previously at the board with the different applications that have come before the board. So it's hard to speak to exactly what went down there. All I can say is that, like, I've had several conversations with Eddie's team about this new program, about the, you know, the importance of having things buttoned up here. You know,
So since we opened Tiger September 2020, which was the height of the COVID mess and whatnot, we opened as strictly an alfresco venue. The rules, the programs, they've changed a number of times. This, we hope, is tying a ribbon on it, moving forward, having our standard operation for the venue. It's had to be a very iterative journey for us. We got the conditional approval from the DOT based on these floor plans. We modded our spaces to match it. We have these printed, these ones you're looking at, printed in our back of house. So the day crew, like, I can just say as an operator, we now have a clarity available to us which hasn't felt available for some time. We understand what we're permitted to. It feels very reasonable for us, and we can operate under these terms. Like, I'm hoping, because I know you guys are frustrated when we come back and it's like
Never
things are
right.
changing. It's been changing on our end too, and I'm just hoping.
Right.
The rules haven't changed for a year. When do you think the last time the rules changed was?
I can tell you, trying to operate this venue, we've been under a lot of different rules and protocols and things overseeing. So now, you know, we have the conditional approval from DOT. We have our
I'm going to sound like Carter here, but everybody, the rules were that anybody who had sidewalk seating and applied before August 3rd could have the sidewalk seating. It was supposed to be compliant on November 1st or November 3rd. That's when I think November 3rd.
yeah.
As of, so this whole time, first of all, there wasn't supposed to be anything outside at Sosa's because you had a stipulation against having anything outside at Sosa's. But even if you want to overlook that, there's no excuse for it not being compliant because everybody knows it should have been compliant. I mean, pretty much everybody knows it should have been compliant, and you're represented by attorneys that certainly know it should have been compliant. So that the poles have been there, the 10 feet have been there. Last time you came here, in that whole conversation in 2023, it wasn't exactly clear what the rules were. So we were going by the pedestrian mobility plan that was stating that there would be a 12-foot clearance and a 5-foot clear path in the furnishing zone. And part of the conversation was even whether you'd be able to have anything at all out there. So, you know, that's where we were during that meeting. And then the rules did get finalized, and it was better allowing you to have something out there. But yeah, go ahead.
And just as a reminder, you were specifically directed by the chair of the New York State Liquor Authority to come into compliance by Chairman Bradley. And Lily Fan, who's now the chairman, was there at that meeting as well, because you weren't in compliance and you were given the opportunity. And now it's been however long and you still can't operate in compliance. And you're asking for forgiveness again. I just, again, what's the guarantee that you're going to follow the rules here? Because I don't think that there is a lot of room if you're not following the rules. And that's, you're asking us, and again, we're going to discuss this, which I'm asking you guys these questions now, because I'd rather hear the answers than have not necessarily a positive outcome, but what's the guarantee that you guys are going to follow this? I mean, there are very few applicants that come before us that have been directed to make changes because they were blatantly not following the rules and given the opportunity to correct them. And that was on speakers outside. Speakers were never allowed outside under any part of this program for music.
Yeah. And that was corrected, I believe. That was,
Well, at the direction
sure.
of the chair of the New York State Liquor Authority, not preemptively on your own, which they should have been removed right away. And your firm was aware of that and represented them, so.
So to speak, that was very explicit and clear directive, and we came into compliance. This, I feel, is an explicit and clear directive. It's not a difficult or complex thing for us to execute and manage. And like, as the operator, well, now I say I'm glad for kind of the clarity and the illustrated plan. And, you know, we understand it explicitly and we can coach our teams to be compliant with it. Like I said, with basic protocols like the published maps in the back of house for furniture setup.
I would suggest tape on the sidewalk because I don't know how anybody's going to follow that zigzag without some markings on the
I'm
sidewalk.
sure that's something we
unless they're
could do.
gonna
Yeah.
Tape, measure everything every day. Okay, Dr. Smith?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
How often are you in the restaurant? Are you in both of them, and how often?
We have a couple of venues now, so I'm in venues every day. I've just come from So-So's now, but having come from Chinese Tuxedo. So I have one venue in CB1, two venues in CB3, and these two in CB2. I'm in the venue 6 nights a week, and then take 1 night a week with family.
And do you have those postings in all of your restaurants, or just in these two, where you have the day people will know what to do?
This is our only al fresco space. In CB1 we have an al fresco space, but it's within our lot line, fixed tables. This is the only venue we operate that is affected by this program. We're on Doyers Street in CB3, don't have anything outdoor.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then the other thing is you had explicit stipulations with us that said no more than one TV in So-So, and then you opened up and you had a significant number of TVs and was set up as a sports bar. So, and just,
No, we litigated that previously. It had 2 TVs. They've both been gone.
okay. But I'm just saying these are all the forgiveness things that we've been through over with written agreements and very explicit rules. They weren't gray with outside music. So, I mean, it's, you know.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, thank you. My name is this, yeah? My name
Yeah.
is Mitchell Siegel. I represent the applicant. The applicant is Kyma Soho LLC, DBA Kyma. You guys might know of the restaurants. They have currently 3 in Long Island and New York. One's on 18th Street, one's in Hudson Yards, and one's in Roslyn, New York. This will be their 4th location in New York. They're moving into the Modern House Soho Hotel. The hotel currently has a full hotel license. The hotel operates the restaurant space that they're moving into. They have nothing to do with the rooftop. They're moving into the ground floor, the lower level. It has 2 outdoor spaces, which is a courtyard and and a balcony. Those hours, we're not changing any of the hours. The hours are going to be from, or what we're seeking is the interior ground level and the lower level. All interior is 11 to 1 from Sunday to Wednesday, 11 to 2 from Thursday to Saturday. The balcony from 11 to 11, and exterior courtyard from 11 to 11, Monday to Sunday. Other than that, there's really no changes. It's a full liquor license. It's a restaurant. Experienced operators, obviously, known for probably being the top Greek restaurant in Manhattan, or one of them, definitely, but probably the top. And nothing's changing. The hotel has C of O, public assembly. They're just taking over the restaurant space. They have a lease directly with the hotel. It's roughly 9,000 square feet, which consists of the ground floor, 3,200, the lower level, 2,800, the balcony, 900, courtyard, 1,200 square feet, and there's a second courtyard of 900 square feet.
Where is the balcony?
Well, we've provided a.
I see. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time looking at the
Okay, yeah.
diagram, and I wasn't on the committee
Yeah,
back
I'm
then.
sorry, this is Reno.
Okay, hi.
This is Reno. He's principal and I'd say probably the main operator of the restaurant.
Okay.
If you have the floor plan, I could show.
Yep.
I can
Yep.
walk up.
Yeah. Please. Let me just get it. So these are. So this is, and it does say balcony, so my mistake, sorry. Okay. So, okay.
And again, nothing has changed from what the hotel has.
Okay, so just bear with me here because again, I was not on the committee when the hotel was here before, but it did spend time going through reading our past resolutions and everything. So what I had from 2017 was that the hours were Sunday to Wednesday for the basement restaurant and the ground floor restaurant, 7 to 12 Sunday to Wednesday, and 7 to 1 Thursday to Saturday. So that's what I could find.
Yeah, so I have what they operate currently, or what they were sort of, I guess, approved for. Again, I wasn't involved.
Right.
But they have very similar hours, 7 to 1, Sunday to Wednesday on the interior space.
Yeah, they're an hour. They're an hour. You have the hours as an hour later than what I have the hours as.
What I have is,
And
okay, I don't have the stipulation, but I have their hours, and it matches what we put in for.
And the part that I'm confused about, that maybe it was with Thor James Hotel.
They're the landlord.
Okay, so our stipulation agreement was with that in 2017, and that was what?
So the upper exterior terrace above Grand Street will close by 11 p.m. Saturday through Sunday. The approved hours are the upper exterior terrace above Grand Street will close by 11 p.m. Saturday through Sunday, 7 days a week.
Correct.
And then the interior ground floor restaurant space adjacent to the exterior garden restaurant with retractable enclosure, is that one of these spaces?
Yes, and that's
Okay.
7 a.m. to 1
Will
a.m. correct?
operate, from
Right.
7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday to Wednesday, and 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Thursday.
Correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
Through Saturday. And and then the interior cellar event space will operate from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday, and 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Thursday through Saturday.
Correct. And so those are the three space that you're 100% correct, and that's what we're going for.
And then the ground floor interior, the upper exterior terrace next to the upper interior restaurant is 6 tables and 13 seats. The upper interior restaurant is 8 tables and 26 seats. Customer bar 19 feet 7 inches with 11 bar stools. The exterior garden restaurant with the retractable enclosure is 21 tables and 78 seats. And the exterior customer bar is 17 feet 9 inches with no bar stools. What's called the exterior treehouse level, is that part of this? That's some, okay, that's 12 tables and 32
Yeah,
seats.
I guess that might be
That's
the
that middle- it says on
exterior
your
garden,
diagram, it
maybe?
says
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I'm not
It
sure.
says upper exterior treehouse, that's
Yeah.
separate. Is 14 tables and 38 seats, and then the interior cellar private event space, the max, because it can be changed, the maximum number of tables for an event is 11 tables. The maximum number of seats is 100 seats. There's a customer bar down there, there's 21 feet, 5 inches. So is that all the same?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just, that's from May 2021.
And what was that, what is that under? Is that under?
That's under the Thor James Hotel,
Yeah.
lease code, serial number 1306380, I believe.
And I think a portion of this went before the members of the authority for the Jimmy space.
Yes,
So it
which
got
we
called
don't,
up, and then whatever, I don't
We
have.
do
we're not. a
No,
part-
right. So all of this was governed initially by another memorandum with Moon Dance, because it was originally the Moon Dance Diner space. And that was one of
So
the,
did those can I just ask you, since I didn't find that document, but I did find the other documents that had those stipulations, so were those about the music? Was anything changed with the music in there or anything?
let me back up for a second.
Okay.
What I read was the determination at the July 15th, 2020 SLA full board meeting. So that's where those hours were arrived at with the approved seating. And then the applicant had reached back out to the Mood Dance Community Group and reached an agreement that they amended. And I guess the question that we have, which is what Donna is trying to say, is what has changed and is everything in compliance with that? And I did not look at this beforehand, so I don't know. I'm relying on you guys
I
to.
believe it's exactly the same. We don't have the rooftop bar, the Jimmy's
Right.
interior and exterior
Right.
space. And the other items that you mentioned, which are 3 categories, I believe are exactly similar to what we put in.
Okay, so then those other
Yeah, and then
stipulations were no DJs, live music, is that addressed in what you're reading?
Yeah, so then it said, so then it said, whereas despite this agreement on, this was a separate thing, advertising signage, the applicant plans to have dancing in the interior cellar private event space, even though there is no permit to do so. There's a certificate of occupancy not permitting dancing at the location. The community board raising the issue with the applicant and his counsel, the community board therefore following up with the council to obtain an answer as to whether they will agree to the proper permits in place before allowing dancing in the hotel, the applicant and attorney not providing a response in good faith. So we had no objection to amending the MOU, except that you need to provide the necessary permits to operate with dancing in the hotel in that size space. So that, because it's over 74, that would actually have to be
Public
on the
assembly.
place of assembly permit that says eating and drinking with dancing or something
Okay.
to that effect.
Fair enough.
That was where we had left it.
I'm sorry, that was out of what? That was out of the SLA 7/15/2020 meeting?
That was what, no, that came
Is that
from the
May
later
2021?
from June, or excuse me, May 2021, our community board meeting.
May
But that
20
was,
May 20th?
yeah.
It's funny, it's my birthday.
Ah, there you go.
No, I
Yeah.
wasn't representing that.
But the big thing was that our issue was show us the paperwork and we wouldn't have an objection, but they weren't able to show it.
Okay.
And as you know, it's a little bit of a higher hurdle, right, with the place of assembly with dancing.
Okay. Let me, I'll look into that. I don't have a copy of the public assembly permit, and I'm not sure what it states.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some things were in flux at that point. I don't recall any of the details, but there's also some questions at the same time, even though it's not part of this application with the rooftop,
Yeah, we know.
with the permits as well for the number of people, for the occupants.
So we were okay with the DJs, or are they just the private parties, or are they, or what?
Okay, specifically in this case, and the reason that we were okay is because we were, I think, given many assurances by the operator who was known to us that they would operate this, and I believe that was Mr. Rabin at the time, that he said he would operate this because we knew him, and that's why we should approve it. So I'm just telling you, that's the
Okay.
reason.
Well,
And also with the community groups, because they had gone back and renegotiated whatever the MOU was with the Moondance Community Group, and there was some public benefit that was derived from that, and I think that that had to do with something that's not part of this application.
well, all I could say as far as that is, I don't know if you guys have ever been to one of their restaurants, but they're really run exceptionally well. You know, it's one of the better Greek restaurants in the area, so to speak. Or one of the, I'd say probably the #1 restaurant. So I'm sure I would ask for the same faith, so to speak, with their operating ability to run it properly and follow.
I'm just going to say, I'm for one, I'm just completely confused, because before this was 3 different licenses, and now it's 1. Is there a hotel lobby involved in this? But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Separate,
It's separate.
so actually there should be
and
There-
where
There's
is
a,
the
there's a
hotel?
lease.
no, there should be a separate application to amend the other license, right?
I don't represent them,
No,
but
but I'm
I'll follow up
I think,
with that.
well, I don't know, in the past, Mr. Bernstein was their counsel, but
Okay.
it was the removal of,
But
Yeah, so
which I
I'll be,
don't think we have an issue with, but I'm just.
yeah, I mean,
But
so
to
now
Donna's
now the lease gives them authority to run the restaurant and the mezzanine and those 2 outdoor areas.
But the 127, correct me if I'm wrong, but 1270229, does that have anything to do with this? That's the hotel liquor license.
The
Is
hotel
that
liquor
not part
license-
of this application? I just want to make sure of that. I'm not saying, it just,
No, I don't see that. See, I have the hotel liquor license as, I don't have 127.
okay, so that's fine. I mean, that was part of our past resolution, but the hotel is separate, and that has nothing to do with
So
this.
just to answer, what you're looking at,
Right.
there was another application after that. That's not the most recent.
Right,
information.
okay, so that's why I'm
And
completely
I think what
confused.
you had said is that this entire building is operating under one,
Correct,
separate bar licenses for each area.
correct.
But that space is the James Hotel Leaseco LLC, Highgate Hotels, and 530 Lounge LLC, DBA Modern House, formerly known as the James New York Soho, Veranda, the Signature Room, Jumpin' Jacks, and Jimmy.
So that was split out
23
after this.
Correct. That's
Right.
that's
Okay.
1306380. That's the serial number on that license.
Okay, all right, so that would help clarify for me. All right, and so,
So I think that to make this
Yeah.
work,
yeah.
as the
which is help
continuum,
me, Yeah,
I think that, and I'm happy to help you, Donna, is to go back
to
and
that one.
give this as the evolution of the previous agreements, because those previous agreements have, we just want to make sure that that's memorialized as sort of the base with the amendments
Understood.
off of that.
So,
just
so
because
the
it's-
taxi line bit is still in there, because that was from the
Well,
previous stuff, or do I just get rid of that?
The concern, I'm just going from my memory now, because it's coming
Right.
back to me, this, is that we didn't want this because of the entrance to the hotel, I think is in a more residential area on Grand Street. And so all the cars pulling up and everything,
Was
and
on
there's now a
6th.
bike lane. There was not originally a bike lane when the hotel started. So the issue is that the bike lane was put in, which really narrowed the street down significantly. So there's not space for people to pick up, drop off, et cetera. So any high volume events there creates a significant imposition from the traffic, which didn't originally exist. But as the space's use has evolved, the concern was having events. in that everybody's coming and going all at once, and it creates a lot of
It's not-
disorder
it's not
and
really-
impact on the residents. So
Understood.
what Donna is talking about are the specific stipulations that were put into place to address those issues, and I think it was the entrance had to, yeah. I'll let
Evening
her-
hours, exit on 6th Avenue. I have no idea what evening hours were because it wasn't defined, but evening hours. Taxi line would be on 6th Avenue. There's also no advertising signs on the hotel, was another one I saw. No sidewalk or roadway cafe. Yeah, and no, I mean, it
And
had no
that's-
outdoor music or speakers. I think you say there are speakers in the,
The only
Courtyards now?
Outdoor space that is, I guess, exterior would be the balcony. And if there's anything past ambient sound, we wouldn't go that. It would just be, music, just for, and even if you don't like that, I mean, that's.
Okay.
Recorded music. there.
Yeah, anything else is enclosed exterior space. And as such, we are in a hotel, so of course, we'd want to make sure that we partner with the hotel and their concerns. So we're going to have music that is also appropriate.
And is it reasonable that you could use the 6th Avenue?
It is somewhat reasonable for the ground floor because there is an exterior exit
Right.
that kind of pushes you right out onto 6th, so that's not an issue at all.
Right. So I think that was the
okay, yeah.
concern, is if you got 100 people in there and all leaving at once, or,
Okay.
And let me just ask one other question. Then you said private parties 6 to 7 a year, I think was written someplace. Was that in the
Yeah, I
liquor?
mean, we're a restaurant first, so we wanna establish that kind of a business model first. Being that we have a lower level or segregated space, there's gonna be a lot of demand for what they call closeouts. So, we are gonna entertain those. Is that our bread and butter? We're not in the wedding business, so that's not what we prefer, but you never know.
And so when you say that, do you mean do you mean the entire premises? So you're just, from what you just said, it sounds like you're talking more the lower space.
So the ground floor is what we will identify because it has a very beautiful view.
Okay.
So that's going to be our main restaurant. The downstairs will be secondary. Hopefully we could make it cohesive and it could be one theme and one story, but we have to see how that's going to happen. Hopefully there's going to be enough overflow and demand for the business that we could attack the downstairs level as well. the
Okay.
lower
And,
level.
and so are you going to operate the 2 spaces as one DBA?
We will, yes.
Okay.
Yes. we're not,
Okay.
It's one entity.
It's one entity. Okay, Dr. Smith?
I am a little confused too. The balcony is, that's an open space, right?
It's an open space. It's connected to sliding doors. Actually, no, it's just one door from the interior space onto literally a balcony. It has, it's kind of like a setback from the structure of the building. So with that setback, they put exterior tables and they have a balcony.
And is that available to people who are in the hotel, that it's open to the public? And what are the hours? I didn't-
Yeah, you would have to go through the restaurant. That space is not accessible without coming through the restaurant.
And what are the hours?
The hours, well, I mean, the license or the permit that we're
Well,
applying for is-
for the balcony, we're seeking 11 to 11.
So all the exterior, the balcony and the sort of enclosed courtyards are
11
all
o'clock.
closed at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And are you having music there?
Nothing beyond ambient sound, recorded
Just
music.
recorded music.
Lois?
Where is the dance? Are you having dancing?
No, not strategically, no. I mean,
Okay.
we're not encouraging, we're not in the club business. We're a restaurant first, that's what
Okay,
we
because I'm just looking
aspire
at the
to be.
application. And the DJ?
Again, DJ, it is, imagine he's not even there. It's just somebody playing to the
It's a
crowd.
he, it's a human, he's there.
It's a they.
Where is he
and-
going to be?
It's literally, it's a plug-in these days, all they
No,
need is a.
where will his station be?
Oh, we haven't really identified where physically it can be plugged in. There's plugs,
Is it like
there's
in the
outlets already in the
cellar
space.
Or on the street level? Where is it going to be?
Currently, the current operator has outlets on the ground floor and the lower level. We're just looking to take over the current music setup that they have and plug in a DJ, which is literally just a laptop these days. So
I know what a
I-
DJ is. It's still a manual. It's manual
course.
music with a
Yes.
human using the electronics. Okay,
course.
thank you.
Okay, so then in the Hudson Yards and Flatiron restaurant from your website, It says it has DJs Friday and Saturday nights starting at 8 with it getting livelier and everyone is encouraged to get up and dance.
Mhm.
That's for the dinner parties for 8+. So
Yes.
is that what is going to happen
No,
here?
No, in fact, what we've done is we're going to call it Celine, which is a new name, a new brand, by Kyma, because there are these connections to that brand that we are trying to break away from. We
So-
don't want to do that kind of nightlife element that they encourage.
Okay, so this one is going to be called Selena, or are you changing?
This is gonna be called Celine, yes.
Okay. And same thing with the brunch with the DJs, that's a Flatiron?
I mean, there probably will be a DJ, but it's again, it's an amenity to the crowd more than it is a party of such. I don't know how better to describe it.
Yeah. And live entertainment, or no?
Beyond the DJ, I don't think we'll have, maybe if there's a violinist on Valentine's Day.
Well,
if
I
that would
need,
be
I
considered.
need to know if there's live entertainment or
So
there's
then
not
yes.
live entertainment.
Yes.
Acoustic?
I don't know.
Limited?
If that falls
I mean,
into live entertainment, then yes.
What is that?
I mean,
Otherwise-
I'm just reading from the website again, brunch with DJs and live entertainment in Flatiron every Saturday and Sunday. That's why I'm
Yes, they
asking
have- they
this
have
question.
They have a roving drummer, a hand drummer. He walks around with drums. I'm not in the instrument world, but he walks around with his drums and just hand drums.
And,
Bongos?
and there's,
Bongos?
Bongos, if you will. I'm sorry, bongos.
and are there sliding doors to the balcony?
No, there's one.
Or French
fixed door,
doors?
but it is glass. It's all glass, but they do not slide. There's just one fixed door.
There's one fixed door?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, so when the private parties, and will you have dancing, Greek dancing and so on, and belly dancing or not? And even I've gone to parties where they're bar mitzvahs and they have belly dances too.
I mean, it's hard to foresee what people would want to use the space downstairs for, but it's not, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did want to have belly dancing in their, if it's considered a private space, I would say, why not? Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that does it. Does anybody have anything else? Nope. Okay. and
Thank
that's
you
it.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Then that's pretty much does it. Joe Roch Inc., doing business as the Cafe Palermo at 148 Mulberry, was an alteration to add roadway seating, and they signed stipulations, and so we waived the appearance on that one. That was E6. And everything else was either laid over or withdrawn. Thank you. And some of the withdrawals will probably be back. They're not withdrawals, they're just they've laid over enough times that we asked them to withdraw. Okay, that does it. Does anybody need a break before we do business session? Okay. Yeah. Wherever the sign-in, do we have the sign-in sheet anywhere? I think Lois has it. Okay, so we'll go into business session.
May 2021, so if you look under the May 2021 resolutions.
Yeah.
And.
And that's what's spelled it out, where you have the tables and the.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that, well, that spells out, that, it came back in that one. That's after it went to the liquor authority, so it
Okay.
includes what the liquor authority put in plus whatever changes. And if I remember correctly, there was a billboard that generated some funds, and there's some disagreements about that. And so that's where they came back to amend the MOU with respect to that. And it was where the funds are used, but that has to do with the time of this application.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. So if I find that.
Yeah, and I'll try and, I'll try and find some.
I'll write
whatever
something up and then you can go through it with me.
But this is, you saw from there, this is sort of, just so everybody knows, this was in it. This used to be the Moon Dance Center, which
Yeah.
was well loved in the past. Anyway. No lights, they built a big hotel.
Right.
And there's been a series of evolution as most of the hotel businesses thematically changed within the hospitality business and how hotels are utilized. And so the spaces, because they're just relatively new when it was built, has a number of different spaces. And the uses there have evolved through time and changes. And it sounds like the basement space, which is here, is coming back from being a catering space and going back to being a restaurant. But like most of those bigger hotels that have a bigger space, people want to lease them out for events sometimes. So the biggest issue here was just the impact and how the use of that space, because Grand Street has changed and evolved.
Yeah.
And so when it's a restaurant, I don't think it's as big of an issue as people come and go in a normal course, but when it's an event, and then with the change of adding the bike lanes, and then it wasn't an event space, it was a restaurant before that.
Right.
So putting that in was like, whoa, wait a second, this has some impacts, and so anyway, that was sort of the evolution, and then there were issues with the rooftop
Right, it's not part of
space, which is not part of this. But now we're seeing again, which is an interesting, just so everybody knows, the hotels all wanted to run everything themselves. So we saw a big movement
Yeah.
where all the hotels recombined
Mhm.
the spaces so that they were under one license. And now they're spinning this off again.
Right.
And so it's interesting. Because we've seen this, you know, the number of hotels like go back and forth, back and forth. And the reason they wanted them in-house was so that they could change the operators with less disruption because the license would have
There's, yeah.
was already theirs and they could change
Yeah.
the operating
Right.
agreements. And it's just interesting, because this is now the first one, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
that we've seen going.
Going the other way. Yeah, it is.
The other
Yeah,
way.
interesting.
Because we had, what's that, Intel and Kenmare, they came to combine everything. We've had, obviously, the Trump Soho, and that's evolution was all recombined.
Yeah.
That, we
And then
just got that, we just got
the
that.
Bowery Hotel, that hotel, funky SRO hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, they
Yeah.
took it over.
Yeah.
We have the Gansworth Hotel, those are all under the hotel license now, I think, right?
Yeah, and the members
Solid
club.
Spaces,
and the hotel.
yeah, or the, yeah, so it's interesting to see this. I mean, I think it's, I think that those are the issues have already been well covered, and it's just
So my only
outside
concern,
music.
right, that could, because what I saw before, there wasn't any outside music, so.
And if I remember, this
At least
space was operated by Gitano for a minute on the outside. And they played louder music, but I think that most operators don't operate at that. So that was the new music
I mean, Darlene Lutz had texted me about the hotel earlier and said she was gonna write something, but I didn't see anything from her, but she said she had met with them and didn't have an issue, but she didn't specifically say anything.
Yeah, it's just that, I mean,
Yeah.
look, right, music is all about who controls the
Right,
venue
exactly.
and runs
Yeah.
it, and if you have a responsible person, it's not gonna be an issue in the community.
Right.
The trouble that we have is always articulating that, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's an issue as long as, you know, the language is quiet
Well,
background music,
well,
and you can just say that's not audible from across the street. You just put it in there, and if they agree to that, that's a fairly
Yeah.
basic. You know,
Yeah.
not a
Yeah, but I
audible
think
on
that's
residential
what
apartments are from across the
I
street.
think we will, and we said not audible music. 15 feet away, that's basically close.
It's 6 Avenue. 6 across the street.
No, is it?
But
Yeah. Yeah, he said they could,
Well, they
later,
would,
in the
yeah,
evening, or if they had an event, they said they could do that, because
Yeah.
where's the bike lane, it's not on.
it's on Grant.
Okay, so they can do that on Sixth Avenue. Okay. Okay. So are we okay with that? And we all hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're denying unless, do we want to see the public assembly or have some movement on that, or
Well,
just I'll put in a stiff
I
that
think
says
that the
that they
stiff,
have that?
they will not get dancing unless they're very obtained.
A different license.
And the reason is because it's a larger space. So what happens is that, dancing is now permitted in
Right.
these group 6 spaces.
Yeah.
But the place of assembly is like when it's dark, you have more light, is just making sure that there's an environment that people can properly sleep, and it's because it's a restaurant and event space, it can be set up multiple ways. There are ways to do that, but that was our main concern. It's not for us to solve it, it's for them to figure out how they're gonna.
Okay,
But dancing is permitted under use group 6 now.
right.
That's what it is. It's just when it gets bigger, it's
Okay. All right, so if anything comes up, I'll email everybody, but it sounds like we're all okay with this. All right, so that's denial, so that's fine. Okay, so now we'll go back to the beginning. Number one was, cartoonery. And are we denied unless on that? And Anthony, you were here for that, Lois wasn't here for that, so we have.
Tyler wasn't here. It was quick.
It was cartoon,
Yeah,
which number?
78 was third.
that was item E2, I put the, I better do this for, Erica on Thursday, but I did do it today, so that was E2.
This was.
I would have waived their appearance if they had gotten us the materials. They didn't get us the materials. We already had in there. They agreed to close at 10. Then the roadbed was less seats than they had before. Under
This
the
was
10
just-
program.
This,
It's not doing a sidewalk.
oh, he's not, okay, that was the.
Said it's not doing a
Yeah.
sidewalk.
And then the other thing is just making sure that. It's got the 20 feet, right? It was making the turns on the
Yeah,
Thompson
okay.
from West Third was the
But that's the other
concern because it was set up further north and.
Right.
We had a lot of back and forth, so you
Yeah.
guys were all, okay.
I mean, I didn't go into all the details of the 20 feet because that's what you.
No, yeah,
But he agreed to
yeah.
close at 10 o'clock.
But he didn't have the sidewalk.
No,
which
so he
was the
said no
issue.
sidewalk, right, that was.
But they do have tables set up sometimes on the sidewalk.
Not anymore.
I'll make sure that there is a stip that says that there is no seating on the sidewalk. Unless because that's not.
Because I remember this and I said, oh, they have tables there too, and they have the shop.
And the applicant was Pullen?
Yeah.
Mr. Pullen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Palillo emailed me at 3 o'clock and said, shouldn't this be waived? And I said, had I gotten the materials and had I gotten stips to you and had I gotten stips back, it could have been, but since that didn't happen,
It's such
no.
a nice place.
For all the energy we spent on this.
Yeah, that's
To get to exactly where we.
It wanted it,
It's hard to
for
get
all of
on
a 3 minute,
the
for all of a 3 minute meeting.
Yeah, it
So,
goes early, but if I see the seating when I pass, I'll take a shot.
yeah, and you can file a complaint with the OT. Okay, the next one is Rulin, which was a restaurant wine that was.
The Chinese restaurant, yeah.
The Chinese restaurant. Japanese,
Asian,
Asian.
is what we said. But that's the little thing where the previous owner has the full OP, but it was only the bacon.
Right, right, so they, they were trying to say it was a full OP and but they were.
for that.
So
So what?
but I said it was never a
This
full
was
OP for
13.
alcohol, so make sure they were aware of that. It's the same hours. Well, they're closing it, she agreed to close at 11. Yes, so she will close at 11.
11 to 11.
And that's it, background music, no TVs, no outdoors, and no patrons, on whatever floor it is, whether it's a second floor. Yeah, second floor. So are we denying us on that? Lois, were you here for that?
Yes.
Okay, so that. 1, 2, 3. So then put
I
it
just
at
came
5.
on the bill,
I
yes.
know you weren't there. Okay, and then the next one was Rament.
Right, yeah, that was just a change.
And that's,
like, release.
it's, right.
Yeah.
So we deny us on that.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the next one was 357 West Broadway. Are we okay on that? They're closing at 10.
This is the building that has, like 3 stories and the, they don't use the roof.
Yeah, I think so.
I
didn't ask them,
the frontage, if you look at this,
but I did look at it.
right, is 21 feet. We, at the sidewalk, or the outdoor dining working group, said, how does this all fit?
That's exactly what I said. to them.
So that.
I mean, because.
Oh, that's what I came in, okay. yeah,
Because
yeah.
this is the diagram that I pulled from Google Maps with this person sitting there, it's in the
Yeah.
garage,
Okay.
and I'm like, how is this fitting in? He's
Yeah.
got tiny tables. So, I mean,
So even if they use tiny tables,
yeah,
right,
it said
is that
15
the
inches.
seat are generally not
Tiny, people,
smaller, I mean, you know.
people
right?
need an 18-inch seat at least.
Yeah. But
And they have, I mean, I sort of figure as long as they take up their footprint, if they could. I mean, I was very clear that they need to be within their footprint. I don't see how they're gonna do it, but again,
yeah,
right, I mean,
yeah,
it's.
yeah.
So 10 they are closing at 10 p.m. So
I just remembered we had how to.
we had well, part of the whole, I think, public interest in a way was that there were no tables out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of gone out the window with most of these. So we deny unless. Okay, so then we're at. Our last two, so you wanna do Tiger Sosis first? Or just do them both together?
I mean,
I mean,
Nancy, you raised.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think
this is your backyard, yeah.
No, like I said, they only just got into compliance, right before our meeting. Usually it's a little bit more tables for the so-so.
Yeah.
And they're.
And the planters have the plant, because you made, I mean, we had a
the planters?
whole conversation about the planters when they came in 2023 as well. I mean, what I have a hard time with is that they had the seating at Sosa's and that, what's his name, Mr. Lim, put in their outreach to everybody that both venues have offered outdoor dining tables since their inception. So they very clearly, and they can't say they weren't doing it, but they very clearly are saying that they did it, and
Basically, 1 month after they came for the extension to so-so. When they were still renovating on the inside, they
Yeah.
started putting out the seats on the extension area.
Sent this picture.
Yeah.
I mean, so it,
if we deny it and it goes up to the.
yeah, then what? You know, and if they're relatively in compliance, but the thing I just, cause I. Just triggered in my memory, is this ongoing issue, right, that just to your point, that every time. There's been an issue.
Yeah.
That they come, and it was also the corner entrance. In too close to the
I
temple.
wish Laura
Where
went
they had to
in,
push back
Yeah.
doorway, that went up there, speakers outside, that went up there, using the TVs. In the place, went up, was up
That-
there, I mean, so it's, but that's why I asked the question, so. You know, is this going to be the final point where they're like the old sidewalk cafe program, we have a diagram? It's known. They said it's posted in there, and they're gonna adhere to it, if they do that, then.
it's not really a problem, they're
And
closing
then-
at 10.
But that's, I'm just, that's the resolution, but my thing is, how do we know that's gonna happen? Because every other time they sign an agreement. Or come to us and told us something. It hasn't happened, and. My concern, and Anthony doesn't believe them, which I agree. You know, but I think that's why I kept asking him today, well, how are we gonna? Make sure that it's crystal clear that you follow the rules, and if they're following the rule, I mean. The, you know,
I mean, they're not doing the seating that they showed us today, they're not doing that now.
The picture that there was so-so.
This is, you know,
Yeah, they have a photograph. It's basically what I sent you video.
okay.
Right?
Which probably isn't. So.
I mean, it may be that this, also. Anyway, I don't know.
I mean, there's no perimeters, there's not, this is what is so annoying, I mean, we've got a number of applications for outdoor dining on
Or
Thursday. at night.
have they ever used some of it?
No, this is from the other day.
So I think that,
This center piece is like not on their map, and this is like a recent addition.
Wait, what is?
The center planter,
this
Oh, the
center
planter, yeah.
but I mean,
And then in front of those seats,
and
on,
then
on the original proposal, that little bench, that slack that comes down, then they could fit 4. Right,
Mhm.
but then on their proposal, original proposal, they put 5 and 5, doesn't fit 5.
Right.
And then so then they have 4 and then 2 out here.
so here's the thing, right, for this one. At the end of the day, what we like to see is them being.
Yeah, well, that was the problem. 'cause they
So if
weren't
we don't
compliant.
even own the equipment to be in compliance, which is some sort of barriers or whatever, and they're not in compliance now, this is the same thing as every other time,
Yeah,
that they're not in compliance. But I would like to have this resolved, because I really don't think it's worth anybody's time to keep going on and on. And I think that they need to show us that they can be in compliance by having the equipment, having the barriers.
So,
And and put on file a diagram and pictures of what it's supposed to be. And have that submitted to the liquor authority and say, this is what we're going to do.
so you
And
want
how we're
them
gonna
to
do
come
it.
back, or you want them
Well,
to submit your motion?
What I'm saying is that what we have now doesn't, this is the
so,
same thing,
so here's.
but I don't wanna have this drag forever.
Do we ask them if they would if they would agree to lay it over until next month so that we can see the proper setup with
They
the
made the
perimeter?
adjustment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that that's a reasonable.
That's a
thing.
good
With
idea.
the-
They made
With
the
the
adjustment.
barriers, will just show us and.
Well, basically, if they set up the perimeter for so, then they can only do 4.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
have-
Let them
go buy
do
the
the
perimeters,
perimeter.
Go get the stuff and set it up. It's supposed to have been done
It's
for a
supposed to have been
year.
done November 3rd.
Well, for that lamppost, you're gonna have that little setback perimeter.
That's what I was
But
saying,
that's
you're
what
gonna
I'm
have to,
saying.
that's
That's
why I
exactly
said
right.
to him, he's gonna have to tape it out, because
It's-
they're
it's-
gonna
it's-
play like White Horse. They have
That's
to tape
gonna
it out.
be the same results, is if we drag this all out, and I'd rather we just resolve it
Right.
here.
I would too, because I
In an
I don't-
amicable way, and they have the photographs and with the diagram and say, okay, boom, it's done.
Yeah, I think Done about the layover.
Or we deny it and say the same thing, that they don't have any of the equipment still. So it's either one or the other.
But see, I mean, if we were to deny it, then by the time we get to the liquor authority, they would probably be in compliance.
Well, they may or may not be,
Uh-huh.
but the point
But they
is
may.
that we would like.
I
I
would
would
rather
rather
have
the time be done here and resolved here.
Exactly.
And, the other reason for this is that I would like to document that we worked it out with them, because it's possible that because this license was decided by the members of the liquor authority, it may have to go back to the members of the liquor authority. And I'd rather say, hey,
Want
it's
to do
not
that.
necessary to do that. It's going to be in everybody's interest to.
So,
I don't think they have a lot of patience,
Who?
the liquor authority.
Yeah, no.
For these things, and that's kind of what I was saying, since they have to be directed, you never know what's gonna happen up there. If they
So
could take
what
it
would
away
you
or whatever, I'd rather just have them follow the rules though and have it crystal clear.
So I'm gonna ask Matt if they would agree to lay it over to October. And to show us photos of its setup for the diagram with the perimeter. With, what their setup's going to be.
And Anthony will know.
But they just.
And then they will look out of his window.
In full compliance with the existing rules and full photographs of section that can be compared to the diagram. easily compared to make sure it's in.
So Donna, you'll say this to them before our.
I'll say this to them tomorrow.
Okay.
That gives them 10 days to answer that, okay? And if they won't do that, then we'll deny it, okay?
Yeah, which is fine, I mean,
You're giving
I
them-
just would rather not
you're giving them
do
time.
that.
Yeah, I would too.
But if it's not even
Because
set
once
up
they're
right
logged
now,
on-
why are we doing this again?
Right.
That's,
Well, there's a lot of places. Not that have been places. Okay, so we're all in agreement with that?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's 6-0, that does it.
oh,
Oh,
we
wait,
didn't talk about the separate numbers, which I think is a little. These
Wait.
different liquor license numbers in the same place, that's,
well,
you need to write to that
I'm-
in the resolution.
yes,
'Cause that's a little
definitely. I'm
ridiculous.
writing, I was going to write basically a flip resolution for each, just take the same resolution, just flip it and highlight that they have the same FSCP number. Even though it's two completely separate businesses. It's unclear how that works.
Yeah,
It's unclear to us how that is okay, but we were told that that is okay.
Well, no, we were told that it operates that way, but they're not, are they really split businesses where they're filing everything separately, which is what it's supposed to be? If you have two different liquor licenses, everything's supposed to be
Everything's supposed to be
operated.
separate.
And this was a big thing, because they came to us and told us that that second place was totally different.
Well, in the beginning, it was ancillary.
Yeah.
Right,
it's ancillary.
Then they separate.
Then they added more seats because they lost the seats outside, so they got the next door space inside. And then it's always because I will say this is the first that I've heard that it's completely separate. Because what I heard last week was that the kitchen was still sort of shared. And then I said, send me a diagram because I know this is going to come up of how they, I know.
Because I tell you, I had a memory that they separated it off
But if.
when they created this.
But if you go back and look at the transcript, which I think I put in the drive, which I did not correct it, so you're better off listening to it, because
Right.
there's. Joseph specifically said in there that the only space that will connect is back of house kitchen area. There will be no way for patrons to get from one place to the other, which is the threshold to make it one license as opposed to two.
That was now what they were saying, it's the prep kitchen. They originally had two separate, if you remember, the reason they had so much kitchen space is because they were trying to do the to-go business.
Outside, right.
No, to go.
I think about that
outside.
and the to-go,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, whatever, that was what
Right,
they told us
right.
originally.
No, it wasn't for the restaurant.
And so as they stopped doing the to-go or the outside or
The
whatever.
road bed,
That
that's
they
what
didn't
he
need that
said.
extra prep space. And I think that's when it was taken out for being
That's-
shared.
So,
Because if they had the diagrams where they showed us before that, where there was a walkway for the. Originally the patrons, but then they closed it off.
right, but see, that's what I was questioning, because when they came in 2023 and we said that they were still kind of sharing a kitchen, but not the patrons, I looked back at those questionnaires and the diagrams, and I could not see any. place
They
that
didn't
were
come to us
connected.
after that again?
Well, based on today, I'm hesitant to say I didn't see anything, but I did not, I think this is the last time they came, because this is
And
when
that
they
was
did
the
what you're
third-
saying.
That was when they added the third.
This is
day.
when they added on that new business, and then they were gonna use the larger kitchen of So-So's wasn't gonna go to waste now, because they picked up the seats from the adjacent business to the south.
And that's when you had said they started. Sent the
Pictures
to
of them
us.
seating outside before it was really even open. And we talked about, we had the kitchen conversation, but not as extensive as you would have it today. And we had an extensive conversation about the outside when it was made very clear that that was being introduced a new application and they had no way to apply for it, but that they could keep the outdoor at Tiger. And then the third extensive conversation was about the print. So, okay, so I'll make sure that that is in the reso. And that's it. Any new business? No. Call it a night. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Okay, good. This makes up for, what was it, June or July?
We did a really late one, yeah.
Let's not tell us. Although I can just remind them of what happened. That whatever meeting that was, July, we give your votes, talk in the morning. They got out. 10, something like that. Yes. Days. Anthony, thank you for all the photos. I got very confused with the,
So we're at.
with them.